Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around, for today we embark on a fascinating journey through the annals of history to unravel the story of a beverage that has stood the test of time. Yes, dear friends, today we shall delve into the spirited world of wine. So, pour yourself a glass, if you're of legal drinking age, of course, sit back, and let us unwind this tale of divine nectar. The story of wine begins around 6000 BCE in the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, now known as modern-day Georgia. Here, our ancestors discovered the magic of turning wild grapes into a delectable fermented beverage. Ah yes, the Georgians were the pioneers of the wine world, making Dionysus proud from the very beginning. From Georgia, the knowledge of winemaking spread throughout the ancient world, finding fertile grounds in the warm Mediterranean climate. By 3000 BCE, the Egyptians had joined the party, incorporating wine into their religious rituals and even using it as a form of medicine. Can you imagine visiting the doctor and being prescribed a glass of Merlot? Take 2 glasses and call me in the morning, indeed. As the centuries rolled by, the Phoenicians, those enterprising maritime traders, took it upon themselves to spread the gift of wine further afield. They carried vines with them as they sailed and established vineyards in their colonies. One such colony was none other than Carthage, which later gave rise to the legendary General Hannibal. Did Hannibal enjoy a glass of vino after a hard day of crossing the Alps? One can only speculate. The Greeks, too, were enamored with wine, and in their inimitable style, they elevated wine drinking to an art form. They believed that wine was a gift from the gods, and Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, was at the center of many a raucous celebration. The Greeks even had a word for the practice of mixing wine with water, krasis, because they believed that only barbarians would drink wine undiluted. Take note, modern-day wine snobs. The Greeks passed on their love for wine to their erstwhile rivals, the Romans. Wine became an integral part of Roman culture, with everyone from emperors to commoners imbibing the divine beverage. The Romans took winemaking so seriously that they even had a god of wine, Bacchus, who was essentially their version of Dionysus. You know what they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. The Roman Empire's vast expanse allowed for the spread of wine and viticulture throughout Europe. The Romans established vineyards in present-day France, Spain, Germany, and Portugal, among other places. Some of these regions would later become the world's most renowned wine-producing areas. As the saying goes, in vino veritas, in wine, there is truth. And the truth is that the Romans knew a good thing when they saw it. But it wasn't all fun and games in the world of wine. As the Roman Empire declined, so too did the production and consumption of wine. The barbarian invasions and the rise of Christianity brought some dark days for our beloved beverage. However, fear not, dear friends, for wine was not to be vanquished so easily. In fact, Christianity turned out to be a savior of sorts for wine. You see, wine played a central role in the Christian sacrament of the Eucharist. Monasteries across Europe began cultivating vineyards and producing wine for both religious and practical purposes. Wine was one of the few safe beverages to drink in a world where water could be contaminated, thus earning it a place at the table of kings and peasants alike. As the Middle Ages marched on, the production and trade of wine expanded. Wine became an important commodity, with merchants and traders crossing continents to bring the finest wines to the tables of the rich and powerful. In fact, the notorious English king, Richard the Lionheart, once declared that the wines of the French region of Bordeaux were the finest potion. Speaking of England, by the 14th century, wine had become so popular in the British Isles that a wine trade agreement, known as the Auld Alliance, was signed between England, France, and Scotland in 1295. This alliance ensured a steady flow of French wines to the thirsty English and Scottish nobility. A toast to diplomacy, I say. As Europe entered the Renaissance and later the Age of Exploration, wine continued to play a crucial role in shaping history. Christopher Columbus, for example, carried wine aboard his ships during his famous voyage to the New World, and it is said that he celebrated his discovery of the Americas with a glass of Spanish wine. From this point on, the story of wine would be forever intertwined with the Americas. The colonization of the New World brought European grape varieties to the Americas, where they were cultivated in both North and South America. However, not all attempts to establish vineyards were successful. The English settlers at Jamestown, Virginia, for instance, tried unsuccessfully to grow vines for wine production. Little did they know that one day, California would come to the rescue and become America's wine-producing powerhouse. Fast forward to the 20th century, and wine had truly become a global phenomenon. With advancements in transportation, winemaking techniques, and marketing, wine was no longer the exclusive purview of the European elite. From the vibrant vineyards of Australia and New Zealand to the burgeoning wine industries of Argentina and South Africa, wine had become an international affair. In what of the 21st century, you ask? Well, my friends, wine continues to thrive, with new wine-producing regions emerging and a greater appreciation for the rich history and diverse styles of wine. As we raise our glasses to the future, let us remember the timeless sagas of this divine beverage and toast to the countless generations that have raised their glasses before us. So there you have it, dear companions, the captivating tale of wine. From its humble beginnings in the ancient lands of Georgia to its current status as a global sensation, wine has woven its way through the tapestry of human history. We've laughed, we've learned, and most importantly, we've celebrated the enduring legacy of this most cherished of beverages. Until next time, cheers!